Hi, are you a foreigner looking to move to Serbia? Or maybe you're looking at opening a business? Or you would just like to stay for more than 6 months? This video is for you. So here we are again, 2024, and after the success of our 2023 step-by-step guide to opening a business in Serbia, we've decided to do an update. Now we're going to also use the footage from last year because some things have not changed, but for the things that have changed, we've filmed new content. Anna and I will be 1 year younger in a lot of our footage, and I hope you guys don't notice too much. All of the information in this video is up to date as of the upload date of this video. Any links that we provide will be put in the description, and if there's any changes, we will put the changes into the description box below, and feel free to reach out via email or in the comment section below if there's anything that you're feeling unsure about. My name is Elizabeth Duong. I'm from Australia and I've been living in Serbia for almost 4 years. I also opened a business here with the help of my immigration lawyer, Anna Bajić. I decided to make this video today to detail how exactly you can open a business here in Serbia and get your residency, and so that you can legally stay here. And we'll be going through everything step by step. So without further ado, Anna, take it away. Thanks, Liz.
My name is Anna Bajić and I'm immigration consultant. For almost 20 years I have been advising foreigners from all over the world on the different tax and legal matters.
So I shortcutted the process a little bit because I got help from my immigration consultant. And if you are interested in not doing this all yourself and having someone help you, I would highly recommend getting in contact with Anna. Her details are below.
For some foreigners, they can come to Serbia as a tourist and stay up to 90 days. Some can stay up to 30 days. Some foreigners simply need visa D to enter the country. For some foreigners, they can travel to Serbia without visa and stay here only as a tourist. And if they plan to ask for the resident permit, they have actually to travel back to their own countries, ask for visa D and enter the Serbia with the visa D for the purpose that they will ask for the residence permit later.
So you want to type in Ministry of Foreign Affairs, visa regime, press enter, and then just search for your country. So in my case, I'm Australian. There is no visa required for visits up to 90 days for my citizenship. When you check the visa regime in the link below, that's just for the entry into the country. It doesn't actually state what happens after when you're trying to find a temporary residence. As a result, for some countries, and she specifically mentioned Brazil and Dominica because she had had those cases recently. So as a Brazilian citizen, you're able to enter the country for 90 days as a tourist. But if you are then wanting to apply for temporary residence, you must get a visa D and then exit the country and then come back in with that visa D. Even though it might state that you're able to enter the country for 90 days, just double check with your ambassador or with your immigration consultant for the most up-to-date information for your country.
When the foreigner needs actually visa D, then the visa D is the first step. Visa D is maximum from the 90 up to 180 days. Visa D allows you to enter the country, or if you can enter as a tourist, then allows you later to apply for the residence permit. If you are confused about your visa D requirements for your specific country, contact your Serbian embassy in your country to find the exact requirements for your citizenship. When you come to Serbia, the first thing you need to do is get your white card, and you have 24 hours to do that by the time that you land. That is basically a personal address registration.
If you are staying at a hotel or a hostel, they will most likely ask you for a picture of your passport, and they are going to automatically register you in the system. Often, what will happen is they will not provide you with the confirmation that they have done that. So if you're a foreigner planning to apply for residency in future, make sure that you ask for the white card to be sent to you. If you are staying at a private residence, and that's an Airbnb, or if you're staying with a friend or family member, there are two ways that they can register you, either online or in person at the police station. If you register online, you should get the confirmation automatically and it doesn't cost any money. We'll put the link down below in the description. What they will need is proof that they are the owner of the apartment, as well as their ID card, and also a picture of your passport. passport and they will register you in the system. So what we would recommend if you're planning to open a business here in Serbia and apply for your residence is to actually go physically to your local police station in your municipality and to get that paper with the police stamp, because some banks will not actually let you open up an account as a foreigner without the white card from the police station. They won't accept an electronic confirmation. The owner of the apartment will need to have proof that they own the apartment as well as their ID card, and you will just need your passport. And it's literally a white form that you fill out. They stamp it, sign it, and that's your white card. And this is the paper that you will need to be able to open a bank account as well as apply for residency later on.
Keep also in mind that if you change address of your stay, every time you have to report that change to the police and actually ask for a new white card.
If you don't want to stay any more than 3 months or 1 month depending on your tourist visa, stop the video here. But what's that I hear? You want to stay longer?
Temporary residence, permanent stay, and then citizenship. The purpose of the residence permit must be the same as the purpose for your visa D. So you cannot ask for visa D based on the touristic purpose and then ask for the residence permit based on the business. It must be the same purpose of both. It's temporary because it's like time limited. Permanent stay is not time limited. Actually, it allows you to stay how much you want. You don't have to renew it every year. There is one really strict requirement for the permanent stay. You can be out of Serbia actually for 10 months in a couple of times or 6 months at once. For that 3 years, once when you get your permanent stay, you have actually right to apply for the citizenship. So you cannot skip some of those steps. So, for example, the citizen of Australia can come to Serbia, stay up to 90 days within 180 days, and ask for the residence permit within that period of time. For example, Russian citizens, they can come and stay 30 days, and within that period of time, they can ask for the residence permit. And the 30 days is not in some time frame, so just every 30 days they can do visa run basically. Ali njima je dozvoljen visa run.
A stvarno?
Tako je, znači zato što oni nemaju taj period within u okviru. Znači mogu bukvalno od cele godine da idu 30 dana, da izlaze da ulaze, da izlaze da ulaze. To je drugačije, mislim, za njih. Rusi su specifični.
There are several different ways you can get temporary residence here in Serbia, but in this video we will be focusing on opening a business in Serbia or finding employment in Serbia as the reason for your stay.
The business registration is one of the most common way for getting a residence permit in Serbia. Are you going to register like a limited liability company, or you are going to be self-employed? If you are self-employed, you cannot have a partner in your business. So if you have a partner in the business, that's not the option for you. Are you planning to have a really big, serious business? Are you maybe thinking to sell your business to someone one day? It's possible to transfer the shares when you're a limited liability company, but when you are an entrepreneur, that's not the option. It's a totally different tax regime between the limited liability company and entrepreneur. When you are an entrepreneur, you can have 2 different tax regimes. You can be like in the flat tax regime, pay every month the same certain amount for tax and contributions, or you can be an entrepreneur who keeps the books. When you're an entrepreneur in that lump sum tax regime, you have the maximum freedom. You don't need the accountant. You can use the money for your also private purpose, so not only for the business purpose. And depend of your main business activity, that amount approximately can be between 200 euros, maybe up to 150 euros. So even your income is 0, you are paying the same amount. This tax regime is limited up to 6 million dinars for the calendar year, so for the 1st of January until the 31st of December. If you cross that limit, then you are going to the second tax regime. So you will not pay any penalty, but you will be automatically in that second tax regime. Bookkeeping. So for some business activities, the bookkeeping can be more cheaper. So if your income is 0, you will not have the tax to pay. Okay, you will have something on the monthly level, the income tax and contributions on your personal salary, but you are free to actually specify what will be the amount of your personal salary. And then once per year you are paying, let's call that profit tax. It's actually the tax on your real income, and the tax percent is 10% actually. When you pay that, you're free to use the rest of your money however you want. You don't have to pay any additional tax. Okay, when you are a limited liability company, then the profit tax is 15%. If you are the founder of that company and the director at the same time, then you're obligated to pay a monthly level income tax and contributions, and the minimum is 150 euros. And the thing is that even if you pay all your obligations and the profit tax, you have to pay additional 15% on a dividend tax if you really want to use the money for your private purpose as a founder. With a limited liability company, you have less freedom and maximum of obligations. But of course, for some business activities, that's the option.
So now that I know what type of business and what sort of tax regime, it's time to register my business. Where am I going to find all of these forms?
You can find it on the official website of our Serbian Business Registered Agency. Check there. You are registered as entrepreneur. In the application form, you will actually mark what is your tax regime. Are you going to keep the books, or you will be in that flat tax regime? Again, the thing is that all that is on Serbian language and on Cyrillics. I'm not saying that it's impossible to finish the things by yourself, but for sure it will be less complicated if you hire someone to help you with that. At least someone who knows the Serbian language. Okay, you're going to that lovely institution called Agencija za privredne registre, or APR.
So it costs 1,600 dinars to register as an entrepreneur, and there is a post office inside APR where you can immediately pay all the fees involved.
Another change related to the registration of the limited liability company, you can submit the request for that registration only online. So there is no anymore described process of notarization of the Foundation Act. Everything is electronically. You have to find someone who will help you with that.
Now, the reason why you will need help to access the system is because you need an electronic signature. I will put the steps to apply for an electronic signature down in the description. But if you want to find someone else who has an electronic signature to help you, all you need to do is make sure that they get notarized authorization to act on your behalf.
5,900 dinars in total for the limited liability company, just for the business registered agency.
And that must be paid online.
After 5 working days, you will have your business registration done. There is another thing that you have also to specify in the application form, and that is a business address. So no matter are you entrepreneur or you're going to register limited liability company, you have to choose the business address for that purpose. You don't need a real space. That can be just like a virtual office. It can be registered at the private place, the place where you are staying, or you can ask some of the co-working spaces for that service to get your business address. You don't have every month to submit a tax application form for the rent tax. That way you have less obligations.
If your registered workplace is at a co-working space, you will need the contract with that co-working space. If your residential address is your work address, you'll need 2 contracts. Your residential contract with the owner of the apartment and the contract agreement with your owner to register as a work address as well.
Now it's much harder to open the personal bank account and also a business bank account. The bank will provide you with a list of questions that you have to answer. You get the English version. The questions are about your business activity, about your experience in that area and the business activity that you're going to perform in Serbia. After that, the bank will decide about your request, and they can also deny the opening of the bank account. You will not be able to go and the same day open the bank account, the personal business, as we did before.
The basic documentation that you will need to prepare to apply for your residency and work permit, regardless of the basis, that is, entrepreneur, limited liability company, or employment, are 1. A photo, a scan of your passport, an extract from APARA with the information of either your employer or of your business or limited liability company, proof of qualifications, which includes a translation of diploma or high school certificate translated into Serbian, lease agreement of the apartment, or at least consent from the landlord that you can stay at that address, and a white card. If you are an entrepreneur or limited liability company, you will also have to attach your health insurance. I will put in my recommendations in the description, and also a bank statement showing at least 500 euros on your personal account. If a foreigner applies for residency based on employment, you must also attach the employment contract, as well as a report from the National Employment Service that you are able to work in that position.
So the employment contract will cover the proof for health insurance, and at the same time the proof that you have financial assets to stay in Serbia. So for that purpose you will not need anymore the health insurance policy, and you will not need anymore like the bank statement with the balance on your personal account. We can conclude actually that you need now less papers than before, but a little bit more patience.
And here are the registration fees as of the upload date of this video. Regardless of whether it is a residency application or extension, it must be made online on Welcome to Serbia. You will be guided online step by step to fill out your application. A residence permit is valid for up to 3 years, after which you can request an extension or permanent residence.
It's only one process for the residence and for the work permit. For the other purposes like family reunion or owning the property in Serbia, it can be submitted also in person like before. Because the government is still working on the improvement of this system, the process can last between 1 and 3 months. So I advise you to start the process as soon as you come to Serbia, so you can finish that timely. Because now when you submit the request online, you're getting only confirmation that your request is submitted, but you are not getting immediately the final date, and you are waiting to basically get the feedback that your request is approved. From the moment when you submit your residence request, no matter how long the process lasts, you are legally in Serbia, even if you cross your visa regime.
And the feedback, do you get that via phone or via email?
By email, but when you create the profile on that government platform, basically you will have your electronic mailbox, and you will getting all additional maybe requests or all feedback from the police or National Employment Agency through that mailbox. Once when your resident request is approved, you will receive info about that in your profile on that Welcome to Serbia platform. You will get the date and the exact time. So you have to come to the Department for Foreigners at the date written on that paper and the exact time.
When you don't wear short skirts or open legs, flip-flops.
They will take the photo of you, take your fingerprints, check all personal details, and after a week you will receive your residence card. The big difference is in the form of the residence permit. Before it was a sticker in the passport. Now we have a card, plastic card with a chip.
So fancy.
Very fancy. For the plastic card, it is something around 35 euros. 3,930 dinars. With post office fee.
Roughly.
The police will issue the paper, and on that paper will be written when you should come to take your residence card.
So the card that you get is both your residence permit and your work permit?
Correct. Before, the work permit was in the paper form and it was totally separate process in front of the National Employment Agency. Now everything is at the same time. So once when you get your visa for 3 years, you can of course renew it after that, or you can ask for the permanent stay. You can apply for the permanent stay after 3 years of your stay in Serbia. Before it was 5 years based on the work engagement. So in this moment, the request for the permanent stay is still in paper form, in person, in the Department for Foreigners. But I believe in some moment in the future that will also be online. For the permanent residence, you should make appointment in the police for that purpose, again using the same email address, and collect all necessary papers. And once when you get the permanent stay, you will be able to apply for the citizenship.
And that is it. Thank you, Anna, for your help today.
Thank you, Liz.
Yeah. I just want to give a big shout out once again to Anna for all her help over these past 2-3 years, including getting me temporary residence. And now that once I had my citizenship, she also helped me close my business and finish the paperwork with that. So Anna has immensely been a superstar for me in Serbia, made my life a lot easier. So I would 100% recommend getting an immigration consultant, or of course contacting Anna for her wonderful service and help, as she helps a lot of foreigners from all around the world in Serbia live here, stay here, and have a wonderful life here.
Thank you, Liz.
So when I say that I recommend Anna, I really do from the bottom of my heart. I will leave her contact details in the description below. If there is anything that you are unsure about, I would actually recommend to contact her direct, because I'm not a professional, I'm just a foreigner that lives here. So any questions that you have, and if you put them in the comments, I usually send to her. All the best of luck. And I hope to see you guys in Serbia, and that you will have a wonderful life in Serbia, just the same way that I have. Srećno!
Bye bye!
Bye bye!